Take a break with teachersub.com. Quality video lessons ready when you need them.
Hello, Writing Wizards, and welcome to Master Cursive with Colors, where each stroke is a sprinkle of fun. I'm Miss Jackie, and I'm so happy to create cursive magic with you today. Our mission is to continue learning the cursive lowercase letters of C, A, and D. In the last lesson, you learned how to form the letters C, A, and D with big rainbow writing movements. And today we will change that to medium-sized movements. Before we jump in, be sure you have your supplies for today's lesson. You will need stoplight colored markers and one big dark marker. I'll be using blue, but you can use green, red, or purple, whatever you'd like. If you need to pause the video to gather your supplies, go do that, and I'll wait till you get back. Buckle up, Brainiacs, because here we go. Here are the supplies necessary for workbook page 6. We have stoplight markers and a big thick marker. I'll be using blue. We are going to do a few things before we get started. So if you could take your big marker, whether it's blue or purple, let's look at this paper and see that we have a place to write our name. So I'm going to write my name at the very top. Please write your name. Then we have some directions, and it says here, copy the sample, which is here, and then write a certain amount of times. I see on this line that if I count all the dots, I count 6, same as in line A and same as in line D. So I'm going to write that in the direction so that I know after I copy the sample, I will be writing it 6 times. Please make sure that you have done that with me. Now I'm going to take my stoplight colors of green, yellow, and red, and I'm going to mark the copy sample letters right here. So please take your green with me. I'm going to pop off the cap. I'm going to turn it a little to the right because that's what I do when I write in cursive. And I'm going to mark the start spot on each letter. C starts here, A starts here, and D starts here. Please do that with me and finish if you haven't. The next spot is where we pause at the 2 o'clock and we go back around once we reach the 2 o'clock spot. And on letter A, it is there, and on letter D, it is right about here. And let's mark the top of D as well, because we will pause and come around and we will go up and stop and go back. It actually has 2 spots to pause. And now let's take our red and mark where each letter ends. And C ends about there, and A and D, they all end at their connector. Cap those markers, and I'm going to put them off to the side. We are now ready for some instruction. And here I have a red I do. That means you stop, look, and listen like an owl. I'm going to take my large, thick marker because it really is easy to grip. And I'm going to do what the directions have asked me. It says to copy the sample and then write 6 times. I will do, and then you will join me after. So to remind myself, I put my marker at the green dot and I ramp up and go over to 2 o'clock to trace the letter C that is already here. And I go back around and work my way to the red dot. That's all you do. Now I would like you to join me, and I will do it again with you. We will do. Put your marker at the green start dot, ramp up and curve over to 2 o'clock, pause, come back around, and go all the way to the stop dot. And that is the letter C. Yesterday, when we were doing rainbow writing, or the last lesson, we were moving our whole arm, and today we are really just trying to move our hand and wrist. So, next up, I am going to explain how we will now write 6 times. So I'm going to use the dot that is put on the baseline to help me know where to start. I'm going to ramp up and curve at the dotted midline and then come back around and make my letter C. These special writing papers with Master Cursive with Color show you the baseline where the letter sits, the midline where the small or lower cases rise to, and the top line, which is where tall letters go or where capitals start. So I'm going to come back to the next dot and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to rise up and curve over to 2 o'clock, follow back and touch the baseline and make my connector. Now I would like you to do that with me. I'm going to start over. Let's go to the first dot and we go up and over to 2 o'clock, back around and touch the baseline. We start at the baseline, go up and over to 2 o'clock. Do not go higher than the midline, which is the dotted line, and pick up. And then we're going to start here, curve up and over to 2 o'clock. Try not to go taller than the dotted line. Lowercase letters are as big as the baseline to the midline. Now, I would like you to do the rest of that row all on your own. I will do it while you do it. And my very last one. Go at your own pace. There is our first row of C's. They look beautiful. Are you proud of yours? I'm proud of mine. Now, one of the things I like to do, knowing that I'm just learning and that learning takes lots of practice, I look at all the letter C's that I made in this row and I try to find the one I feel I did the best with. And if I look at all of the letters that I wrote and I put a check over my very best one, I think I would pick this one. Which one would you pick? Oh, and you can't pick the sample because that was really written by someone else, not you, all on your own. So look at those letters and pick the one that you think you did the best. It doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be your best effort. We are back on a red light? I do. Let's look at the sample A. I'm going to remind you how it is formed properly. I start at the green light, I ramp up and curve to 2 o'clock. I come back around and I close the A, follow that line down to the red dot. Nice job. Can you trace your sample with me? I'll do it again. Let's put our big thick marker on the green dot and ramp up over to 2 o'clock. Back around, touch the baseline, close, and pull down for a connector. Nice job. Now I'm going to ask you to listen and look like an owl. Here, my next direction says to write 6 times. I have 6 dots. I will do the first one. Then I will ask you to join me. So I put my marker at the starting dot on the baseline and I curve up to the midline and down to 2 o'clock. I turn around, I close that letter, I follow that and I pull away for a tail. Nice. Now I'm going to ask you to follow with me. Don't forget, the 2 o'clock letters are when we curve over to where 2 would be on a clock and then back around. So together, let's go to the first dot and ramp up over to 2 o'clock, back around, close, and make the tail. Well done. Let's go to the next dot. Put your marker down, curve up, turn at the midline, and go back around, close the letter, pull down, and away for a tail. Let's do one more together. Up and curve to 2 o'clock, back around, close, follow down, and pull away for a tail. And now I would like you to finish the rest of the line. I will do mine while you do yours. Notice that my whole arm doesn't move, just my hand and wrist. I have a lovely row of A's. When I look at them all, I see that they're all fairly well done. This one I think is a little small. This one I had a hard time coming back on the line. And so if I had to pick my very best one in that row, I can't pick the sample. If I had to pick my very best one, I think I'm going to pick this one. Which one did you pick? Was it a first? Was it a last? Or was it somewhere in the middle? I noticed that these two seem to be my better ones. That may mean I need a lot of practice before I get really rolling. We have now made it to our last letter. For this lesson, it is D. My start dot is on the baseline. I'm going to show you. While I do, you listen. So D starts on the baseline. I ramp up and curve over to 2 o'clock. I come back around and close this letter just like the A, but I continue up to the top line, and then I follow back down and curve away with a connector. I would like you to trace with me. I will do it again. Put your marker on the green dot. Let's ramp up, curve to 2 o'clock, back around all the way up to the top line, reverse back down, and pull away for the tail. Nice. Now I am going to do 1, and then I'll ask you to join me. So for D, again, we're going to ramp up, curve before that, right at that dotted line. At 2 o'clock, turn back around. We are going to close it and continue up by pushing fingers and not arms. There is the letter D. Please pick up your pen, put it on the very first dot, and let's form a beautiful D together. Remember to push those fingers all the way up to the top line and pull back down for the connector. Let's move to the next dot. Here we go. We're going to ramp up and curve at the midline, 2 o'clock, close it like an A, but keep going all the way up to that top line and pull down. And ramp up, 2 o'clock, close it up, go to the top line and pull back down. Don't go too fast. And now I would like you to finish the row on your own. I will work while you work. Get done, take a peek at your row, all your hard work and efforts. When I look at all of my D's, I look to see if they're all tall enough, and they all did a really good job. This one's a little short, that's okay. And if I curved over to 2 o'clock, I really like this curve. This one I'm not quite sure is my best. And if I look at all of the D's, and I had to pick my best one, I think mine is there. I don't know where yours is, but please mark it. It's important to know when you've done well. And it's not expected that you do well on everyone, but maybe you do. You're just going to have to pick the better one. That's some great work today. Wow, your listening was sharp and your writing bright. You gave your best with all your might. I hope you feel proud of yourself, because I sure do. With your big marker writing today, you improved the foundation of your cursive writing skills. You can keep practicing by printing extra copies of page 6 and working until you feel comfortable with each letter's proper formation. I will see you at the next lesson. And until then, thanks for being part of our swirly curly writing crew. To keep the fun flowing, just tap like and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, you can find everything you need and more at teachersub.com.